This video is going to cover Word Chapter 1 Guided Project 1-2. To start off, we are going to download the start file and make sure that we save it in a place where we can find it later. My strong recommendation is that you put it in the folder that you would have unzipped when you went to download your pause and practice files, if you watch that video. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, Browse, and then I'm going to put this on my desktop in my ITD 122 Word Chapter 1 folder. I'm not going to change the file name at all, and I'm going to hit save. I have a 5 on the end of mine. You probably won't, so just ignore that for now. I'm going to do a split screen, so if I hit the arrow to the left on a Windows computer, I am able to get that Snap to feature where I'm able to choose a second window to be side by side. And if I'm working on a Mac, I would switch over to Mac instructions. Otherwise, I would stay in Windows. I can view previous attempts, and there might be a best practices that actually starts off this project. You can hit I acknowledge, but it's just talking about the start file and making sure that everybody knows how to submit that start file once it's completed. Number 1 asks us to open up the document and enable editing if we need to. Number 2 says that the file will be renamed automatically to include our name. Number 3 is where we start getting into everything. So we are going to press Control A to select the entire document. So I'm going to hit Control A. 3B is going to ask us to click the paragraph launcher on the paragraph dialog box. So it's the little bitty box here in the paragraph group on our home tab. And then it asks us to change our line spacing to multiple. So we're going to go down here where it says line spacing, and I'm going to choose multiple. And the at, it wants it to be a 1.2. So we're going to probably need to type that in. And then we are going to change the after up arrow to 12. So I'm going to hit the after up arrow to 12. So we've done 3 things in here: multiple, 1.2, and 12. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and then I'm going to check off those couple of steps. Then we're on to number 4. We're going to delete all the blank lines in the document. So everywhere you see a blank line, I'm going to click, I'm going to hit delete. And then I'm going to check off that step. Make sure that you don't have anything extra down here on the end. Number 5 asks us to select the entire document again. Whoops. So I'm going to click on the document and hit Control A. Then we're going to change the font to Cambria. So in the drop-down font menu here, we are going to scroll down, and this will be in alphabetical order, and choose Cambria. Number 6 will then ask you to select the title of the document, Online Learning Information. And you can select it out here in the margin. That's kind of a nice way to select an entire line in Word. And we're going to have it selected, and we're going to go to the Layout tab. And sometimes the commands will be shrunk down here because I'm in a split screen. So if there's ever a command here that you can't find, then I would recommend going to a wider screen. And I'm going to change the before spacing to 36 and the after spacing to 18. And then I'm going to click the center button on the home tab. So I'm going to go to the home tab, and in the paragraph group, I'm looking for center. So I'm going to hit the center button, or you can hit Control E. Control D will open up the font launcher dialog box, or I can hit the little itty bitty box in our font group on our home tab. And from here, it's asking us to do a couple of more things. So I've already launched the box. We're going to hit bold and change the font size to 24. So I'm going to hit bold and then go to 24. And then I'm going to click the button for small caps. And then I'm going to change the font color to blue gray text 2. So I'm going to hit the drop down menu for the fonts. It's going to be the 4th one over on the top. And if you hover over it, a screen tip will pop up and say blue gray text 2. Once you get to the Advanced tab, and I've clicked on the Advanced tab, we are going to change the spacing to expanded by 1.2. So I'm going to hit expanded and then by 1.2. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. I'm going to go ahead and check off all of the boxes for 6. And then we're going to be on to number 7 to move some paragraphs. So we're going to select the last paragraph of the document, SPCCD, down through the end, and it wants us to click the cut button or hit Control X. So I'm going to hit Control X on my keyboard, which will cut that paragraph out. And then it says to place your insertion point before the second line of the document, definition of online learning modalities. So I'm going to click there and with my I-beam to put my insertion point there. And then we are going to hit paste or press Control V. I'm going to hit Control V. And then we're going to click before that information. And then we're going to type in, where are we now with online learning? Sometimes you can copy and paste information over from the directions. It just depends. I'm going to try that now. And it came in here a little funky. It didn't exactly match my destination. So I'm going to hit the down arrow here and I'm going to hit merge formatting. And that allowed me to copy and paste that information from my directions. Again, sometimes it works out well and other times it doesn't. After it's been copied and pasted, I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And if you did type it out, make sure that you have everything in there, letter for letter, word for word, space for space, so that you don't get flagged for an error. And then it asks us to select the paragraph that begins with synchronous online course. So we are going to go down to synchronous online course, and we are going to select the information that includes the paragraph mark. So we are just selecting the text, actually, sorry, the whole paragraph. And we are dragging and dropping it right above to reorder the paragraphs. So we are going to click somewhere on the selected text and drop it right in front of hybrid. And then that will cut and paste or do a quick drag drop edit and move that paragraph. So then I'm going to check off all of the boxes for 7. And then for number 8, it wants us to start doing some formatting on the document. So we're going to select where are we now with online learning. And we're going to open up that font dialog box launcher. So you can hit Control D or you can click the little itty bitty box in the font group. And I'm going to go back to the font tab and we're looking to change the font size to 12 point. And we're going to change the font color to the same blue-gray text 2 that we did for the upper part. And then we're going to choose the double underline. So we're going to choose an underline style. Mine is the 4th available option down. And then we're doing an underline color, again, blue-gray text 2. So we're going to click on that blue-gray text 2. So that takes me down through G. And then H says to confirm that the formatted heading is still selected, and then click the group or click the text effects and typography on the home tab in the font group. So I'm going to hit OK. With this information still selected, I'm looking for the text effects and typography. So that's going to be this blue glowing A in the font group on your home tab. Once you click on that, we're going to go over to the shadow option, and we are looking for the first option in the outer category, offset bottom right. Once you click on that, the formatting is finished here, and we want to apply it down here. So if we have this information selected already, what we can do is we can click on this format painter one time and then take our I-beam and drag it across definition of online learning modalities so that that format has been picked up and then placed down here. If your format painter is still on, you can hit escape or click it to turn it off. And I'm going to go ahead and check all the boxes then for number 8. And then moving on to number 9, it asks us to format paragraph headings in a document. So we're going to scroll down till you see online course. We're going to select online course colon. After it's selected, we're going to hit Control D to launch the font dialog box launcher, and we're going to hit bold, and then it wants us to change the font color to that blue-gray text 2 again, and then click the button for small caps. So we did 3 things: bold, blue-gray text 2, and small caps. Don't ever change anything else unless it specifically tells you to. After we hit OK, we're going to double-click the Format Painter, because we're going to be applying this to multiple sections in the document. So I'm going to go down to, again, be careful where you click because I've already double clicked my Format Painter, and I'm going to very carefully drag my I-beam across, and I'm going to select Synchronous Online Course, and I'm going to make sure that I include the colon in my selection. And then Hybrid Online Course, again with the colon, and then Technology Enhanced Course, again with the colon. I'm going to hit the Escape key to turn off my Format Painter, and then this takes care of number 9 and 10. And then number 11 asks us to select the last sentence of the paragraph, and we're going to choose the italics. So I'm going to click right here before note, and I'm going to hit Control I, or you can hit the italics in the home group in the home tab on the font group. Then number 11 asks us to correct spelling and grammar in the document. So we are going to hit Control Home on our keyboard if you have a home, or you can just click and scroll to click at the top of the document, and you can hit F7 to launch your spell check, or you can go to Review and you can hit Proofing and hit Spelling and Grammar. Here we're going to go ahead and click on Management and Synchronous and Management again. This type of course uses online, so we want to click Uses, and we want this a course where some portion of the meeting time, so we're going to do portion, and this is a non-line course that uses online learning tools, and I've already accepted all of those suggestions. So all of those suggestions are listed here, or at least they should be. We have synchronous, repeat this process for the meaning misspelled and grammatical incorrect words. So I had quite a few. You may or may not see this editor score appear. I think mine was in there. Number 13 says use the search feature to research the meaning of the word synchronous. So I am going to look for the word synchronous, right click on it, and then I'm going to hit search synchronous. This is going to give me a couple of options, and then I can review the definition and other entries in the search pane, and then I can close the X to close that out. And then I can also use the thesaurus to find other words for the word pioneer. So I am going to look for the word pioneer, and then once it's selected, we can go to our review tab and click on thesaurus. I'm actually going to go ahead and expand this to a full screen, and we are going to choose the word innovator. So I'm going to click on innovator. Let's just right click on pioneer, and we'll choose innovator, and then it has us change this innovator to an innovator. So that will take care of 14, and then 15 asks you to use the read aloud feature. So I'm going to close out of the thesaurus and just click before a paragraph, and you can practice.
Where are we now with online learning?
And it will read.
SPCCD is an innovative.
You can close out of that. You can practice using the next button and changing the reading speeds. But again, it won't be anything that actually affects the final product. And then number 16 has us add in a title, a subject, and an author into our document properties. So we're going to hit File, info, and then properties, and then advanced properties. And you're going to type in the title, online learning information, the subject, online learning, and then the author, Tanisha Morris. After you have that all typed out, it asks you to save and then upload your project. So I'm going to actually hit OK here and exit the Backstage view and undo my italic at the end because I want you to see what a report looks like without an error on it. I'm going to hit save and then close out of my file and hit upload my file here. Once you hit upload my file and double click it, then we can hit yes, submit the file. After you hit yes, submit the file, it'll give you any errors that you have listed in red on the right. So if we click on the file on the left, it'll pop up over here on the right and there will be 11A. So this was not italicized, is basically what it's saying. And again, you can always click and get a little more information about your error over here on the left. Anything correct will appear in that list, but I usually only pay attention to what's incorrect. At this point, since that's incorrect, we can go back in, open the file back up, fix the italic at the bottom of the file, hit Control S to save it, close it out, and then upload it again. So I take the highest of the 3 attempts that are here available for you for that guided project. So make sure that you use all 3 attempts so you can get the highest score possible then on your guided projects.